Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy.
Yeah, go ahead and take off.
Coming back at you with another video. I figured in this video I would go ahead and talk about all the stuff that was revealed on the Year 5 Season 2 Warriors Den stream the other day. That is basically showing all the content that is going to be coming during this season, and there was actually a lot of it. And let me tell you, just based on most of the stuff in here, if you want a quick DW for this, it's Poggers and also Champion. It seems like there's going to be a lot of good shit that's actually coming into this new season, so I'm very excited about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about some of the main points that were in the Warriors Den, give my thoughts on it, and just kind of everything encapsulated and what I'm looking forward to, what I think they could have also changed to maybe add or maybe do in the future, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. But before we get into the video, guys, I need to thank Ridge Wallet for being so generous in sponsoring this video. And firstly, right, guys, what are you doing, right? Father's Day is practically 2 weeks away and you still haven't gotten your dad a gift? That's not good. Don't be that person to just last minute buy him some cheap Hallmark card and get him what he actually really wants, a new wallet. You see your dad staring out the window each night. Do you know what he's thinking about? No, he's not contemplating his life. He's actually thinking about the Ridge wallet, the stylish, sleek, and industrial wallet of the future. He's thinking about the over 30 styles and colors and which one he would like the most, and thinking about the lifetime warranty because the material is so durable on it, he'll never need another one. But joking aside, actually, the wallet is great. It holds all of my cards and cash and doesn't make an awkward bulge in my pocket. So if you're interested in this and want to get your dad what he truly wants, go over to ridge.com/Tony and then shop the Father's Day guide to get the best gear for him. Once you've selected what you want, make sure to use code Tony on checkout to get 10% off of your entire order. That's ridge.com/Tony and code Tony. Thanks again to Ridge, and let's get back to it. So just starting off, just in general, the new season is called Mirage, and it's got this theme of there's a drought. They had that big festival last time and everything's blah, whatever, but it was all happy, hunky-dory. But it's basically they were trying to say the war has, also now had its effect on the land, and everything's kind of just like a barren desert. So the season is called Mirage, and with it we are going to be getting a new character. I'll just talk about this right off the get-go because I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's not coming out till July 22nd, which is probably the midway point of the season, and it could be a Wulin, but I think most people are assuming that it's going to be a samurai character based on this. You don't get a too good of a look at it. I'm not going to go into theory crafting anything there. He seems pretty cool. The trailer that they put on here was actually filthy. Shouts out to the art team and whatever on that. That looked actually insane. So we are getting a new character, but it's not coming to the midway point because we have a bunch of other stuff coming on release. So that's going to be really good. You guys can let me know what you think about the character, what you think the character might be in the comments below. But I'm assuming it's kind of along the lines of a samurai, and I'm hoping it's going to be a fun one because the most recent characters that have come out I haven't really enjoyed, except Jean Hu. I mean, ever since Black Prior till now, the only character I really liked was Jean Hu, so I'm hoping that I will actually start playing this one. And also just another thing just to tack on just a little bit with that new character, we're also getting some sort of armor variations coming out when the hero drops as well, which will be on July 22nd. Just wanted to throw that in there as well for people who might ask, oh, where's the new armor? Looks like it's coming midway point. So also with the new season, we have a new event thing that's going on, as well as some changes to the maps. I'll first touch on the maps. I was kind of upset about this. I mean, it's kind of cool what they're doing, but I was still kind of really? You could have just, done something else there. So essentially, they're changing some of the weather on at least 3 of the maps at the moment. They said they might be doing some more stuff to maps in the future, but they're taking the maps High Fort, Forest, and the Belvedere, and they're kind of making it look more like a barren wasteland type desert little effect to it. So that's going to be a different weather that you can expect to see. So High Fort, which is usually normally very lush and green, is just going to have essentially no grass, and it's going to be very dusty and sandy and all that stuff there, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I know the art team always makes stuff look cool, but at the end of the day, I was I would have been happy with just a normal new map. If you wanted to make a desert-esque map just in general, that would have been cool, instead of actually taking the existing ones that you had and then modifying them to make a new weather pattern on there. So I was kind of upset about that, but not the end of the world. It still looks good. I don't really have complaints with how it looks. I just wish that they would have maybe used the assets in a different way, but that's fine. I digress. And in terms of the event, this whole thing is also based on a lot of Japanese mythology and stuff and magic and all this whatever. So there is an event coming out called Visions of the Kyoshin, and essentially with this one, it's You know, it looked actually pretty cool. You're on like a, I guess, deserty version of Temple Garden, but I think that you can't get that one in actual multiplayer. It's just for the event. And there's like these fucking 2 things on either A or C that have, you know, like 17 arms, and they've got different weapons and stuff, and then they're basically just big chonkers. You go ahead, try to kill them. If you do kill them, I don't know if it's just you or your team ends up getting a buff, and it changes how the map looks in general. You get like they said like a quote-unquote god vision or god sight or whatever to make it look very nice and blue and everything in there. So once you do that, you kill them and you get a buff that gives you bleed on your attacks, and then also healing you on every successful attack that you land. Don't know how long it lasts for, but other than that, it looked like it was just normal Dominion besides that point of getting those buffs. It actually looked pretty fun, and it looked really, really pretty, so I'm definitely down for that. Good job on that. That one runs from June 10th to July 1st, so you'll have about, 3 or so weeks to play that. Actually, wait, 20, even more. It's almost like 4 weeks, to be honest. So that's going to be nice. I'm going to definitely try to play that. Hope you guys will too. And with that event, they did say that there is going to be an event pass. So again, event passes, if you don't know, different from the battle pass. It's just a completely separate track of things that you can get for free, just added into the game. No need to complain about that just because it's free stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to be too upset about that. But then, yes, there is a battle pass. There is it is kind of sticking on that same like drought like vibe and everything. And let me tell you, weapons actually looked pretty filthy. I'm gonna be honest. It has a lot of like black and like I guess that like bone color, and a lot of like animal skulls and stuff are incorporated into things like the weapons and shields, which I think actually looked pretty nasty and stuff. A lot of the weapons looked really cool in my opinion. I definitely liked the artistic direction they went with that. Also, there's some mask outfits and some other things probably that they haven't shared with us that are going to be added into that as well. So you guys can look forward to that with the battle pass, obviously, right? There is a free track, or if you end up buying it, right, you can get all the premium rewards as well, which again I don't think is that bad. Obviously this game's been out over 4 years. You gotta somehow continue to make money to continue to put this content in there, and I'm okay with it. It's not like it's a big like investment if you want to put it into the battle pass, but I actually quite like the content that they have in there. It looks really, really nice so far. And now we're gonna get into the real meat and potatoes of the season. This is the biggest like thing in terms of content that we've gotten, and let me tell you, Mr. Stefan, Mr. JC did not disappoint in my opinion. So with you guys know, the recent testing grounds that was actually in the game, there were 7 characters tested. All 7 of those characters are going to be pushed live with changes. That is actually insane. I love that about this. If they would have just kept 2 or 3 to push live and then the rest of them still worked on, I think that would have severely actually hurt it. This is going to really change up how the game is, because we're going to have to learn characters' new moves, and you're going to see probably a lot more variety in the characters played, which I think is absolutely perfect. So again, shouts out to them. This is so good. And then we'll go through some of the changes that they actually did show in there. What, like, some of the characters obviously didn't go in as they were in the testing ground. Some tweaks were made. I know one of the first things was Berserker. Berserker had probably the least amount of changes in there. He didn't get any actual changes because his stuff was already so minimal to begin with. So he's going to be launched as he was in the testing grounds. That is just fine with there. The next character that they were going to actually show and talk about was the Gladiator. Gladiator is getting some changes. I'm going to be honest, I've really come to have a little bit of a disdain towards Gladiator recently just because of Gladiator ganks. The things that they're changing is the toe stab. One of them is the damage output is reduced, and it also no longer unbalances when you're out of stam. Normally, if you're out of stam, you got toe stab, you'd actually get knocked onto the ground for a free heavy, and potentially more if there's teammates around. So that no longer happens. The skewer revenge gain has been increased to 30, which aligns it with like most normal bashes. I think that's also to help with the Gladiator gank. Then also the sucker punches, which are like the dash forward punches. The front one is faster. The side one is no longer delayable. It has lower stamina damage, and it no longer pauses stam regen, which they've actually shown in a lot of these characters, that I will be talking about here in just a couple minutes. The pausing of stam regen, I really wish this was a normalized thing for like all bashes. I was seeing more on Abound tweeting about it, and just in general, I would agree so much. If like a bash can put you out of stamina, right? But it shouldn't be able to like pause your stamina regen while out of stamina. That just doesn't make too much sense, because before it would used to drain it, but there wasn't a pause. So it's essentially the exact same thing as what it was. It might be a little bit better than what it was if you continue to drain stamina, but I really wish that there was no like stamina pause to like any bash in the game. I think that would make it for a much healthier environment. But those are the changes to Gladiator. Next up, Jianhu. Unfortunately, Jianhu is a little bit too much of a menace on the battlefield, and he is getting some tweaks to it. His zone attack speed is returning to 600 ms from the 500. The 500 was too fast. Completely understand that. That was seemed to be the main issue that some people had with Jianhu. I had so much fun playing that character though. But yeah, the zone makes complete sense. The side dodge attacks are remaining light parries. They had it written that they were going to be heavy parries, which would have been really, really good. But at the end of the day, a lot of dodge light attacks are, there is a lot of dodge light attacks, I should say, in the game that give light parries if you're able to bait it out. And Jianhu still are pretty quick, so you have to watch out for that. But at least now they are enhanced, so I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world. He definitely has more stuff now to actually use because he'll have that bash to open people up, and well, you don't need to just wait to dodge attack and get into your combo then. So I think those changes with Jianhu are actually fine, and I'm excited to play him. And then Aramusha, they actually just gave him a little bit more stuff on there. They increased his forward movement on neutral heavies, the infinite light chained heavies, and heavy finishers, because again, Aramusha does have some problems catching people, especially if they like back dodge or back roll, things of that nature. So that definitely does help. It was something he's always struggled with. The only thing that I wish they would have maybe looked at is a lot of people were saying how the ring the bell has no real like indication that it's actually going to come through. So it is a little weird in terms of like a bash and kind of hard to see because there's no like, like a little unblockable type thing to where, like the character has that like orange glow that you see on most bashes. So that one, I thought they might have addressed that and looked at that. Potentially it could be a fix later, but yeah, that was the one thing that I saw a lot of people just have an issue with. I don't think they had an issue with the character as a whole. I think they just thought that the ring the bell had a little bit of wonky like animation. It was super, super hard to tell. So that is something that I maybe would have liked to see them change, but in general, I am excited to play Aramusha as well. Then we have Shigoki. I'm so sad, man. This man's not the fastest character in For Honor anymore. You're not going to be able to just spam sprint and he's going to be able to move around the map. That was very, very fun. I enjoyed that a lot on Shigoki, but yeah, that has been fixed. And honestly, again, with Shigoki, they actually gave him a little bit of a buff from there. They reduced the recovery of Demon's Embrace. Hell yes, For Honor. Hell yes. The only thing I thought that they were maybe going to change was the actual headbutts. The headbutts were really good on Shigoki, and they seemed a bit oppressive. So, obviously hasn't been in the game for a bit. Maybe they'll do some testing around with some numbers and tweaks and stuff. If it does turn out to be really, really strong. But again, Shigoki has a completely different playstyle now, which is actually pretty interesting. Obviously, you'll still have your unblockables and stuff that you can do, but no light hyper armor. You're gonna have to play a little bit different on Shigoki, and I like that. I like a little change because I put so much time into this character. It's gonna be a little breath of fresh air, I'd say. And then JJ, who is in there as well. It's really just his choke stamina, which is, again, if you parry and then you hit the guard break button immediately after, he does that choke. Bitch slaps him in the face, that stuff. Just the amount of stamina that it takes away has been reduced. That's basically the only change that was there for JJ, which, I think is fine. I think Jang Jun's going to be a pretty strong character. Definitely fun to play, especially with that Sifu's unblockable. Doing that externally and stuff is going to be pretty damn nice. Then we have the Hitokiri. The Hitokiri was like, it was honestly, I know that people had a bunch of fun on the Hitokiri, and I did too, and that's because I was just absolutely wiping the floor with my opponents, and it was kind of like monkey brained to an extent, the changes that were in there, but they did change some stuff on there. So the kick and sweep now do lower stamina damage and don't pause stamina regeneration, similar to that they changed of Gladiator. So that's good. They still all do heavies, which I think is going to make Hitokiri an absolutely fucking menace on the duel battlefield. That's going to be a pretty hard to deal with. The endless myriad damage reduced. I think that's just like the heavy that you get after like going through the kicks and like your infinite combo and stuff. So after you get a kick and then after you do a sweep, the heavies that you'll actually do will be reduced damage, which is nice because you could put out a crap ton of damage super quickly on the Hitokiri. So I like that. Good change. Good on you, For Honor. And then the other thing is the side dodge heavy is no longer delayable. So you can't just bait out people. Delayed dodge attacks are very, very strong just in general. I'm not necessarily one to be like too upset about it. It's a good change, I guess. I didn't notice it like too crazily when I was playing just in my like few games, but yeah, I can understand how people could get upset with that, so that's good. So these are obviously really, really good changes, and all 7 of them are going to be launched on the first day of the new season, which is going to be really, really good. It's going to give us a lot of new things to look forward to, and, you know, probably keep the content a little bit fresher for a longer while, because we have to wait, you know, like a month and a half or so to get the new stuff. And speaking of that, we're actually getting announced the new characters that are going to be going into the testing grounds. So there is going to be another testing grounds that is going to be starting on July 1st and go through July 8th. And the characters, I'm not trying to say that they're listening to your boy, but people always asked, who would you rework next? Let me tell you, the characters that I said were Orochi, Raider, and Shinobi. You know who they put into the next group? Orochi, Raider, and Shinobi. I'm not trying to say like I had any influence in there. I definitely didn't, right? I think anyone with a brain could probably see that those are the characters that need some help, but we are gonna get changes. You know, Orochi needs some help as well. Raider has just kind of slowly fallen off the face of the planet. You kind of just have to Oonga Boonga with hyper armor now. And Shinobi is just a character that, honestly, I don't even know how to fix, so I'm very curious as to what they're gonna do on there. So that's gonna be coming to the testing grounds. But another thing that they said is coming to the testing grounds, which is actually insane, is option selects. They are going to be looking at option selects and certain tweaks with them. I don't know if this necessarily means that they're going to try to remove them, but if that's the case, if that actually ends up going through, that completely changes how you fight entirely. And let me tell you, I'd run around my room, all right? I'm not going to do anything too strenuous, right? Don't want to pull a muscle or anything, but I'd be pretty freaking happy because, you know, option selects, obviously, you can bait out a lot of stuff, like with zone option selects. That's not like the end of the world, but there's getting increasingly more like difficult ones to deal with, like the GB option selects are like way, way stronger than that is. So, you know, I'm glad to see them actually trying to deal with that. It seems like a lot of the community, you know, has a little bit of a disdain towards option select, but, you know, there's still fucking 90% of the community does do option select. So, yeah, that in general is going to be pretty damn crazy to see what they actually have in store for that. But like I said, that's coming in July. So what we'll have probably, you know, three-ish weeks to have to wait before that actually goes through. And I definitely think we'll have enough content to get us through to that. So that's going to be really, really nice. That, in general, is a majority of the stuff that's actually been put into the season. Let me know what you guys think. I think 99% of the stuff in here is really, really good. The only thing that I'm, like, slightly upset about is that, you know, I wish I had a new Dominion map, but they did at least do, like, some weather changes, so I guess it's something slightly different to look at. But at the end of the day, who cares, really? I just wish there was a new one with, like, just completely new environments and stuff to kind of look at. That's my only gripe, but you guys have heard me talk about maps before in general, so I am super, super stoked for this season. I hope you guys are too, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.